Hey guys, welcome back. This is Anthony, and today we're going to talk about credit cards. So my beautiful diagram here we drew last time, and if you'd like to know about how this came to be, we were talking about savings, go ahead and click the link below, and we're going to link you directly to the video where we talked about how inflow of money can go to different savings tiers. And this is my fountain to riches here. Today we're going to talk about bills and credit cards. So we'll write bills here, and then we'll write credit cards right below that. And then I'll go into some detail about what these mean and then how we can strategically set up our accounts so that we can ultimately save thousands of dollars every year, no exaggeration. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. The first is, as your money comes in, what we said was that $1,000 is going to be the maximum amount of money that I want to have in my checking account. And the minimum, I want it to hover right around $1,000 every month. If it goes above, I want to go this way. If it goes below, I want to budget better. And so this $1,000, once that comes in, the first thing that I want to pay once I get my pay is my bills, right? So you got to pay your rent, your car, utilities, everything. So that is where this little branch comes from. Now the second thing to look at is my credit cards. I want to pay those off every single month. You don't want to hold balances on credit cards. There's one exception that I will get into here shortly, but you want to pay your credit cards off every single month. Now, the first point to make with this is your credit cards should be linked to your bills. And what I mean by that is that if you have a credit card, then the first thing you should try to do is find a way to pay a bill with that credit card. If your bills will allow for it, I know that phones will, phone bill, internet may, some utilities allow for it, some don't, taxes won't. If you are allowed to do it, a lot of times they'll charge you the credit card fee for that. If they're going to charge you a fee, probably not a good idea, but if they're not, and there are several companies out there that you have to pay every month that are not going to charge you a fee, then you should definitely link your credit card to that payment. And then at the end of the month, pay off the credit card. And now we'll look at some specific examples of credit cards that you can use. And if we set this up properly, I said you could save thousands of dollars per year. And I mean it. I mean, I personally save thousands of dollars per year by setting up this little path. And if you do something similar, it doesn't have to be exact, but something similar, you could ultimately save thousands of dollars. So the first card that I'm going to talk about is the Chase Ink. I have a business, and the Chase Ink is a business card, but there are other Chase cards that give you awesome benefits as well, such as the Chase Freedom, which is a consumer card, and I'll talk about that in a second. Now, the Chase Ink card happens to give me a benefit of 5% on my phone and internet every single month. So when I say thousands of dollars a year of savings, this alone, my phone costs me $150 per month. That's $7.50 every single month on that one item. And that's not the only thing I spend my money on every month. I spend my money on lots and lots of things. So if you sum up everything I spend my money on, and then all the savings and the percentages that I get from those, it is easily thousands of dollars a year. Now the Chase Freedom card, there's actually a couple of tiers of that, and definitely recommend it. And so they actually pay you either $150 or $200 just for opening the account and spending, I believe it's $500 in the first 3 months. So if you spend $500 in the first 3 months with this card, they're going to give you either $150 or $200, depending on the tier that you get, the class of card that you get. That's awesome. It's free money in your pocket. It's money that you're going to spend anyways. Just get the card, spend the money, pay it off every month, and then at the end of 3 months, take in your reward, your benefit of that, and then just carry on. Now, on top of that money that they give you just for opening the accounts, they also give you rewards for spending money on it. So some of them will give you 1%, 1.5, 2%. Some of them are based off of categories. So one of the Chase Freedom cards has rotating categories where if you go grocery shopping, they'll give you, upwards of 5% in some of those categories. Then, you're getting 5% all over again. How much money do you spend on groceries? It's amazing. It really is amazing. And the way, if you think about how this works, this is actually, it's taking money from people that don't know how to manage their debt, and it's giving it to people who do. I mean, that's essentially what it's doing. There's two types of credit card holders. There are the credit card holders that will hold a balance and pay interest on that balance every single month. And then there's the second group who will reap the rewards of the first group paying that interest. They'll take that in the form of rewards. So you don't want to be part of the group that's paying interest. If you are, then that is why I'm here, is to help you get away from that and get towards a life where you can just pay it off every month, collect the rewards, and ultimately get paid instead of spending thousands of dollars every single year. So we talked about Chase Ink, Chase Freedom. Another one is the Wells Fargo Cashwise. This is going to give you 1.5%, and it's going to give you $200 just for opening the account and spending $1,000 in the first 3 months. So again, do you spend $1,000 in 3 months' time? If you don't, then you're living pretty frugally. But if you do, then this is definitely a card to look at. 1.5% is by no means the best that you can get out of all the credit cards that you'll find out there. And in fact, I challenge the viewers, if you know of one better or have one better that will give you 1.5% for all of your purchases, please post it below. I may open a new account myself. But another part of this is longevity. I've had this card for a while, and I want to build a history with that card and keep that history. But if there is a card out there that will benefit me more than this 1.5, and the fact that I got this $200, I will definitely take that. The next card that we're going to talk about is, so I have a USAA card. Now this is going to be for USAA members. We're talking veterans, things like that. But while the USAA card is for a group of people, there are other cards out there that provide the same benefits. So I have a USAA American Express card that gives me 5% on gas. If you cannot find a card that will give you 5% on gas, then something's wrong. There's definitely a card out there that will give you that. So again, I challenge the viewers, if you have that card that's giving you 5%, post it below. The USAA happens to be the one that's giving me that. And the only thing I really use USAA for anymore is pretty much this, and then my car insurance, and that's pretty much it. So the next one that we'll talk about is another card that I have, and there is an annual fee with this. So I don't pay the annual fee because I have a military clause which allows me to have that waived. It's a $0 fee. It's a $0 annual fee, but there is a fee associated with the card itself. So the benefits that, well, first of all, the card is the Amex Platinum. Amex Platinum. So if you're in the military and you don't have this, you should have this because it's absolutely free. There's absolutely no strings attached. It's free. And they provide you all sorts of benefits like $15 a month in Uber. They let you have access to all the lounges in the airports. And if you're in the military, chances are you're traveling. And if you're going to go sit at the airport for a couple hours, you may as well be able to go sit in their nice lounges and eat free food. So that is the benefit that I use this for. But there are all sorts of other benefits, travel and hotels, that you can get as well. So it may end up being worth it for you to spend that annual fee if you can work out that it justifies itself to spend, that you spend that much money that you get the benefits. For me, it would not be worth it if it weren't for the fact that it was free for me. So the last card I'm going to talk about, and this one could be a little controversial, and I'll branch this here. It's the Chase Slate. So the card in itself is not controversial, but how I personally employed it may be. And so I'll go into how I did it, and I'll go into how it can help you. The Chase Slate is really a card that's meant for balance transfers. If you have a credit card that you're holding debt on right now and you're paying interest on that, then you absolutely should consider transferring that debt over to the Chase Slate. It takes 5 minutes to go and apply. They'll tell you right off the bat that, whether you're approved or not, and the balance that you can transfer, or the credit limit for that card. And you can actually put in your account number for your card that you're holding a balance on right off the bat. And then within a week, you'll have the packet and it'll be done. So absolutely, absolutely recommend this for anybody that is holding a balance to transfer their balance to this card in exchange for 0% APR for 15 months rather than paying whatever you're paying right now. Now, the way I employed this card personally is, so I typically don't hold balances, but a couple of years ago, I felt the need to pay off a mortgage that was charging me interest. I was paying 5% on it because it was an investment. I decided to pay off that mortgage and the money that I used to pay off that mortgage with was a credit card that I was able to pull out cash with the 0% APR. So there aren't many cards out there that do that. and then some of them will charge you fees if you do, and they come and go like the offers do. The one that I did it with was a Bank of America card a couple of years ago, but it allowed me to pull out $10,000, and I paid off a mortgage with that money, and then I was able to hold that credit card debt for 15 months and pay 0% APR on that. That was worth it to me because in exchange for 5%, I went to 0%, and then I was still able to take the money that I was spending every month on that mortgage and toss it in a savings account and earn interest on that particular amount of money. So what happened was after the 15 months was up, the Chase Slate came to life for me because I had two choices. I could either take my chunk of money in my savings and pay off the credit card, or I could leave the money in the savings account, keep earning interest, and roll that debt to this Chase Slate, which is allowing me another 15 months of 0%. So I decided to do that, and that's why it may be controversial. A lot of people, they don't understand that there are small instances in which it makes sense to roll debt from one credit card to the next. And this was strategic for me, and ultimately I've ended up saving a couple $100 just for this. All right, it's a few $100s by now just for doing this. And then at the end of this term, I'll have the choice of paying it off if I'd like, and I'll probably end up just doing it. I'll probably just pay this off. All right, so that was a bit long-winded, but this is really the essence of how you should allocate your money that comes in, is pay your credit cards, pay your bills, link credit cards to bills, and then find cards that will pay you for what you already do in life. And if you get paid for doing what you already do in life, then what more can you ask for, right? All right, cool. So that concludes this video. Thank you for your time. Hit the subscribe button and like, and I will keep pushing out more. And feel free to ask me any questions. Thanks. Bye.